Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. K.N. Gaikwad, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. Title of our paper is BO 241 Plant Anatomy and Embryology. Today we are going to learn chapter number 8 Megasporangium and Female Gametophyte. In this topic, we have to study types of ools, megasporogenesis, and megaspore tetrad. Last time we have completed structure of typical megasporangium. In angiospermic plants, the female reproductive organ is the carpel or pistil. It is also called megasporophyll. Each carpel consists of style, stigma, and ori. Last time we have seen the structure of typical ovule. Structure of typical ovule shows funiculus, chalaza, integuments, nucellus, micropyle, and at the center there is a embryo sac. Now let us see what are the different types of ovules are there. On the basis of direction of the micropyle region and chalaza region of the mature ovule, ovules are categorized into different types. There are total 5 types are there. First of all, atropous or orthotropous ovule. The body of atropous ovule is upright with micropyle, chalaza, and funiculus falling in single line or straight line. This type of ovules are known to occur in some 20 families of angiosperm like Polygonaceae, Piperaceae, etc. Second type of ovule is that anatropous ovule. In this type, due to unilateral growth of funiculus, the whole body of ovule is inverted 180 degree. As a result of micropyle comes close to the base of funiculus. The nucellus remains straight, that is micropyle and chalaza lie in one line and funiculus lies parallel to it. It is most common type of occurs in several families, both dicotyledon and monocotyledon. Now see, these are some diagrams. First is orthotropous ovule. I told you that it is an erect micropyle, funiculus and chalaza are in one line. Micropyle is directed upward and such type of the ovules are present in most of the members of Polygonaceae and Piperaceae. Second type of ovule is called Cercinotropous. It is curved. Embryo placed transversely in the ovary and ovule is bent in this manner like a horseshoe shape so that micropyle and chalazal end comes to close to each other. This is the chalaza and this is the micropyle. This such type of the ovules are commonly present in Cruciferi and Caparis. Third type is nothing but the anatropous ovule. It is an inverted ovule having bent funiculus Macropyle end is directed downwards and the chalazal end is directed upwards. This is the chalaza and this is the macropyle. And funiculus is present at the lower side. It is common in both groups of angiosperm, dicot and monocots. Fourth one is nothing but the hemiautotrophs. Now in this type of the oil, the macropyle and chalaza become right angle to the funiculus. Fifth one, amphitrophus. In this case, it is curved. The oil is horizontally in position and it plays right angle to the stalk funiculus. Is amphitrophus. Now here the macropyle is somewhat bent but not such as anatropus and embryo sac is become downward direction, funiculus is straight and chalazal end become in this side. And last one, campylotropus. It is an curved embryo placed transversely in the ovary and ovule is bent like horseshoe shape. So the macropyle end and chalazal end come close to each other. In this way, dear students, we have studied different types of the ovules: orthotropous, succinotropous, anatropous, hemianatropous, amphitrophus, and campylotropous. Now let us say this is the description of different type of the ovule, campylotropous, and this is the ovule has curved body, but its curvature is less than that of anatropous ovule. As such, the macropyle and chalaza are not in a straight line and the funicule lies at right angle to the chalaza. Campylotropous ovules are known to occur in families like Caparidaceae and Chenopodiaceae. Fourth one we have seen in diagram, Amphitropous ovule. Such type of the ovule has a pronounced curved body like that of Anatropous ovule. But here the embryo sac within the ovule also bends and become horseshoe shaped. Amphitropous ovules are found in members of Luganaceae, Alcemaceae and Butemaceae. Fifth one, hemianatropous or hemitropous ovule. In this type, the body of the ovule is turned through 90 degree. That is, it is horizontal place on the funicle. Hence, the macropyle and chalaza are on horizontal line, and the funiculus lies at right angles to this line. Hemianatropous ovules are found in the members of Ranunculaceae and Primulaceae. And last type of the ovule is called Succinotropous. In this type of ovule, the funiculus is very long and form a complete circle around the body of ovule. This type of ovules occurs in certain Plumbaceae and Cactaceae. Now let us see female gametoid structure and embryo sac. Female gametophyte is nothing but the embryo sac developed from functional megaspore in the nuclear tissue of the ovule. Generally, single megaspore develops into an embryo sac. But in some angiosperm, 2 or 4 megaspore are takes part for the formation of the embryo sac. A typical embryo sac of angiosperm is 8 nucleated, having 3 cells. At the chalaza, they are called antipodal cell, and the center there are the 2 cells are there. They are called poronuclea, and at the toward the macropyle end there is 1 egg and 2 synergids are there. That's why it is called 8 nucleated embryo sac. 3 cells are present to the antipodal side. 3 cells are present to the macropylar end. That is called egg apparatus. This, and at the center you will get 2 polar nuclei. These 3 antipodal cells are normally present at the chalazal end of embryo sac, arranged in various ways. Usually they degenerate before or after fertilization and therefore are short due to mitotic division up to 300 as in some plants. Each cell of antipodal cell is uninucleate, but in some case it may be multinucleate. Antipodal cells are rich in ascorbic acid, oxidases, starch, lipids, and proteins. The cells are associated with the nutrition of embryo sac. Now the central cells are nothing but the polar nuclei. It is the largest cell of embryo sac. Within a central vacuole and contains sugars, amino acids, and inorganic salts. It possesses 2 polar nuclei which are large in size with conspicuous nucleus and remain suspended by cytoplasmic strand at the center of the cells. The 2 nuclei fuse before or during fertilization to form a secondary nucleus or secondary nucleus. The central cell with its secondary nucleus after fertilization give rise to endosperm. That means out of 2 sperm, 1 sperm become fuses to the secondary nucleus and that form the endosperm. That's why there is a triple fusion or double fertilization present in these cells. Now toward the macropyle end, here is you will get the macro egg apparatus. The typical egg apparatus at the macropyle end of the embryo sac is composed of 2 synergids and 1 egg cell. Synergids are elongated cells placed closely to the either side of the egg. Each synergid possesses a big vacuole at the chalazal end and cytoplasm. There the vacuoles are there. And single prominent nucleus is there. Cytoplasm is rich in RNA, proteins, lipids, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and dictyosomes. Usually these 2 synergids are spherical structures which degenerates and disappear soon after fertilization. It is believed that, according to embryologists, they play an important role in directing the pollen tube by secreting some chemotropically active substances. Now at the end, at the center of the egg apparatus, there is a egg nucleus is there, egg cell is there. And actually this is the functional female gametophytic cell present in between these 2 synergies. An egg shows common cell wall with 2 synergids. It is a prominent cell with large vacuole. White color is nothing but the vacuole toward the macropylar end and aggregation of cytoplasmic elements at the chalazal end. In egg apparatus, there is single nucleus is there, which is placed centrally located in the egg cell. In this way, we have seen the structure of typical embryo sac. Dear student, I am going to repeat again. Typical embryo sac is 8 nucleated. Toward the micropyle end, there are the three cells are there, two synergies and one egg. At the center, there are the two polar nuclei, and toward the chalazal side, there are the three antipodal cells. That means 3 plus 2, 5, and 5 plus 3, that is the 8 nucleated embryo sac is there. Now let us see types of embryo sac. On the basis of how many megaspores are take parts for the formation of the embryo sac, there are three types of embryo sac. That is monosporic, second one bisporic, and third one tetrasporic. The functional megaspore placed in the nuclear tissue develops into an embryo sac, or it is also called female gametophyte. Normally, embryo sac develops from single functional megaspore, and the condition is thus known as monosporic development. But sometimes megaspore mother cell, instead of developing into distinct single functional megaspore, has its 4 haploid nuclei, megaspore nuclei, suspended in the cytoplasm and contributes to the development of female gametophyte. And that's why, on the basis of number of megaspore participating in the development of embryo sac, the process is categorized into monosporic, bisporic, and tetrasporic. Monosporic means a single functional megaspore, either from chalazal end or micropyleal end, takes part in the formation of the megaspore. It is called monosporic type of embryo sac. When 2 megaspore out of 4, either chalazal end or micropyleal end, takes part for the formation of embryo sac, they are called bisporic. And when the 4 all megaspore, functional megaspores, they are takes part for the formation of the megaspore embryo sac, it is called tetrasporic. And these are some examples of monosporic: Polygonium, Oinothera; bisporic, Allium, Endymion type; and tetrasporic, for example, Peperomia, Pinea, Adusa type. Now let's see first of all monosporic embryo sac. Here are two examples are in this slide, that is Polygonium type and Oinothera type. This type of embryo sacs are very common in angiosperm. Polygonium is, these are the two stages, megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis. I am going to repeat. When the diploid megaspore mother cell develops into the megaspore haploid, this process is called megasporogenesis. And development of the embryo sac from functional megaspore, it is called megagametogenesis. That means in the development of the embryo sac, there are the two processes, two phenomena are occur: megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis. Now let us see monosporic, one of the example Polygonium type. In this case, among the 4 haploid megaspore form the megaspore tetrad. Now this is the megaspore mother cell that results in meiosis first, which form the 2 haploid megaspore. These 2 haploid megaspore again divide transversely to form the linear tetrad that form the 4 megaspore. But out of 4, upper 3, 1, 2 and 3 become degenerates, and the only basal megaspore is functional. These are nothing but the diagrams of the degenerated 3 megaspore of the micropyleal end, and only this megaspore become divides mitotically, first, mitotic second, mitotic third. That results into the formation of the 8 nucleated embryo sac. And that 8 nuclei become arranged in this manner. In last slide, we have seen typical embryo sac, which shows the egg apparatus with one egg cell and 2 synergies, 2 secondary nuclei, and 3 antipodal cells are there. Second example of monosporic, that is Oinothera. What happened in this case? In megasporogenesis, megaspore mother cell divides meiosis first to develop the 2 haploid megaspore. Then meiosis second, 4 haploid megaspore. Now in this case, the lower 3 megaspore become degenerated here. And the megaspore which is present to the upper side, it become functional and divides mitotically to develop the only 2 mitotic division that form the only 4 nucleated embryo sac. That 4 nucleated embryo sac become arranged in this manner. Toward the macropyle end, it become developed the 3 nuclei, 1 egg cell and 2 synergids, and at the center only one single polar nucleus is there. And this is the characteristic feature of family Oeniagraceae. Among the Polygonium and Oenotherium, Polygonium type of is a common feature in angiosperm. Each nucleus of dyad further divides by mitotic division to give rise to chalazal tetrad and macropylar tetrad. Here. And they get organized in this manner. Now, second type of embryo sac is nothing but the biasporic. There are the one example, that is alisma type biasporic embryo sac. This first figure is monosporic and third one tetrasporic. Now what happened in biasporic? I told you that when 2 functional megaspores are takes part for the formation of the embryo sac, it is called biasporic type of embryo sac. The biasporic embryo sac is 8 nucleated and develops from an functional megaspore nuclei. Megaspore mother cell divides here by meiosis first to produce dyad. Dyad cell do not show wall formation after second meiosis. Hence they form a chalazal dyad and macropylar dyad is there. Out of this, only one dyad remain functional and participate in embryo sac development. Now in this diagram, the lower dyad become disappear or degenerate, and this upper dyad takes part for the formation of embryo sac. This functional dyad further shows 2 successive mitotic divisions and it possesses 2 tetrads. And chalazal tetrad. From the macropylar tetrad, through nuclei become developed the egg apparatus. That egg apparatus shows the large egg cell and 2 synergids are there. From the chalazal tetrad, 3 nuclei get organized into antipodal cells and 1 nucleus migrates toward the center. Thus the embryo sac is nothing but the 8 nucleated. Example, alisma type. Now third one is nothing but the tetrasporic embryo sac. It is a special type of embryo sac development in which the megaspore mother cell divides by meiosis first, meiosis second to form the 4 haploid megaspore without any wall formation. In the megaspore mother cell possesses 4 haploid nuclei at this stage. All these 4 haploid nuclei get organized to development of embryo sac. On the basis of behavior of functional megaspore nuclei, tetrasporic embryo sacs are categorized into different 7 types are there. They are called peperomia, pinia, plumbagilla, adoxa, drusa and fritillaria. Out of that, in this slide, there are the 2 types are there, fritillaria and plumbagilla. Now in prickly eye, what happened? This is the megaspore mother cell. These megaspore mother cells are divided meiotically to develop the dyad without any wall formation. Dyad become develop the tetrad, and all these three, 1, 2, 3, and 4 megaspore are takes part for the formation of the mega embryo sac. Now out of 4, one migrates to the macropyle end, two migrates become to the Chalazal end, and they become divide mitotically to form the 4 toward the macropyle end and 4 toward the Chalazal end. There is no further mitotic division, and all these 4 nuclei arranged in this manner. That means toward the macropyle end there is the egg apparatus with the egg and 2 synergies, 2 secondary nuclei, and 3 antipodal cells are there. Now second example of tetrasporic embryo sac is that Plumbage-La. This is the functional megaspore mother cell, divides meiotically to develop the dyad, meiosis second to develop the tetrad. Out of that, all nuclei takes part for the formation of the embryo sac without any mitotic division. Now these columns are blocked. Now how they arrange? Out of 4, toward the macropyle end, only one cell migrates to form the egg. There is no synergids. At the center, you will get the 2 polar nuclei or secondary nuclei and 1 toward the antipodal cell. In this way, we have seen the types of embryo sac: monosporic, bisporic, tetrasporic, and structure of typical embryo sac. At the last of this topic, there are some assignments or questions. What is embryo sac? Embryo sac is nothing but the female gametophyte. Mostly 80% embryo sacs are 8 nucleated. Second question is that embryo sac, describe the typical embryo sac. We have studied 8 nucleated embryo sac. Describe the development of monosporic embryo sac. Fourth question, describe the development of bisporic embryo sac. And fifth one, describe the development of tetrasporic embryo sac with example. Thank you.